I don't think they're hungover from the Super Bowl. I just think they're not as good.
I want to open with this strange start to a 49ers season that has now included a flight to Munich for Christian McCaffrey. How would you thumbnail sketch the first 3 weeks here of 49ers football, Guy?
I guess it could be more of a disaster, but pretty disastrous. And no, it's like this is 3 weeks of football. Are they suddenly going to get injury luck? They better. I mean, that's the good news about luck. I guess it can change quickly. But it feels like every injury that Kyle Shanahan has stepped to the podium and said, that shouldn't be a thing, has become a thing. And they don't have the depth behind Brock Purdy they had last year. They certainly don't have the depth behind Jordan Mason, the running back, that they had at running back even 3 months ago when everybody was healthy, when McCaffrey was healthy and Elijah Mitchell was healthy. And they are walking a razor's edge. To me, when your margin of error is thin, I'd probably rather have a great defense than a great offense. A great defense can be more consistent than even and I don't know, I'm not saying this is a great offense, but it just requires so much precision from an offense to go out and score you 32 points when your defense, doesn't consistently stop the run. And the problem, one of the things they've always dealt with, as you know, Damon, and they've always had to overcome, is they're not a home run hitting offense. I've always compared it to the Princeton basketball offense, like chest passes and backdoor cuts and precision.
Right.
And that means 8 and 9 and 10 play drives, not 2 play scoring strikes. And They don't have receivers that separate down the field. And maybe Brock, if he had Justin Jefferson, would throw those balls, but they don't hit those plays.
Look, this is why the label of front runner is not really meant to be an insult to them. It is who they are. They can start a game, control a game, kill clock, keep your offense off the field, and that is the formula that has been quite successful for Kyle Shanahan since he's been here. And that's what makes that loss against the Rams that much more infuriating, because find me a better first quarter, Guy. Find me a first quarter that went into the Shanahan's about to win this game bucket as easily as that first quarter fit against the Rams. The 49ers do have a get-right opponent, and I know that one of the things that you and I do have in common is you never want to overlook an NFL team. You don't. Like, even the Carolina Panthers starting Andy Dalton, which is easy to joke about, can show up and whoop that ass, and they just did, in Las Vegas. You don't want to dismiss any team, but if we had to stack teams that on paper are easy to dismiss, the Patriots are right up there. The 49ers do need to look good this weekend. By hook or crook, it doesn't even matter. That's the worst offensive line maybe in football. And if you don't see the amount of hits on Brissett that is even in the realm of what the New York Jets just did to him, that is going to be the first official, uh-oh. Like, even if the Niners win the game, but it's a clean pocket for Brissett most of the day, that's going to be a bad sign for all good things going forward.
This team is not deep and not great right now. So, the Cardinals are going to pose a threat. Going to Seattle is going to pose a threat. They got the Chiefs and the Cowboys at home. Yeah, they need this one, but they need a lot more than this one. And the Rams game, the reason when Deebo Samuel got hurt, I immediately said, it's going to be fine, was because they played the Rams and the Patriots, and they should have been able to win that game last week without Deebo. Look, they had many chances to win that game and still have it kind of suck. But it's a math problem. They were going to win that game, beat the Patriots, be 3-1, and move on.
I think it's time they got to look elsewhere. I can't believe that Ronnie Bell is still rostered today. To me, that guy's just standing in the way of what Jacob Cowing might be. We can't see Jacob Cowing in the name of Ronnie Bell's got to get some snaps. That just doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't. But, I think Ronnie Bell, even though he was clearly one of the reasons they lost that game, is a single person. There is a larger problem with this team, which is they don't look fast on defense other than Fred Warner. And the players they've brought in either last year or this year in free agency don't seem to be able. Well, we know Javon Hargrave is not physically going to be able to play. The 2 players they added this year, Isaac Yiadom and Devondre Campbell, well, they added players on the defensive line, so we'll see. The moves they've made to accentuate a team that is stacked with high-end players at many positions have not accentuated. And so as you go, all right, well, how are they better? Are they better? Brandon Ayuk's in his prime. He needs to be a better player than he was last year. Nick Bosa's in his prime. He needs to be as good or a better player than he was last year. Trent Williams is not in his prime, but it needs to be the guy you're paying.
Right.
Now, I think Brock Purdy might be a better player. He should be a better player, right? Given his age, his development, the fact that he didn't spend this offseason hurt.
If the entire success formula for the 49ers is now predicated on Brock Purdy, you are one of the 3 best quarterbacks in football, that's probably too big of an ask for him at this point in his career. But man, he's the least of any problems. I don't even have him on the list of problems. The Niners promised us smooth entry point into 2024. Nothing has been smooth about this. Not the offseason, not the preseason, not the first 3 games of this season. And everything that they were looking for, they haven't found. But I don't think they haven't found it because they lost a Super Bowl. They just got their own problems. I don't think that there is a hangover. Super Bowl hangovers, by the way, are supposed to attach to teams that won the Super Bowl, not lost them. So I don't really get that at all. I don't know.
I don't think they're hung over from the Super Bowl. I just think they're not as good. I do think Super Bowl hangovers can apply to teams that lost them, especially when they lost again. Right. And you know how hard it is to get back. And you know how much needs to go your way. Right. As close as they were to winning a Super Bowl, they also were this close to losing to the Packers and to the Lions. So I think that, I feel that with 49ers fans right now is they're not just mad about losing to the Rams. They're mad about losing the Super Bowl.
Right. No one would be complaining about 1-2 with the 6th Lombardi trophy, but that's not true. People complain about everything, but
no, but it is a larger frustration with Kyle Shanahan that comes through in everything right now. And it has piled up. I don't see that from the team. What I see from the team is just that they don't have a lot of speed on defense. That's what it looks like to me. Now maybe Hufanga's going to play maybe give me 2 more weeks and Talanoa Hufanga's playing every snap on defense instead of cycling in and out. Maybe Renardo Green's ready to contribute more. They've played so many big games where they break the opponent in the first, even 10 minutes. It's like we score a touchdown, strip sack Aaron Rodgers in the end zone. Now it's 14, and then it's snowballs. And I still think that they are that team because they are still built that way. But you can't win every game that way. And I worry about Jordan Mason getting 30 carries a game with nobody else behind Jordan Mason. He's never had this type of workload. I think
I think Kyle's got to have some conviction in some of the roster choices he's made. You kept Patrick Taylor. You cut Matt Breida to keep Patrick Taylor. Play him. Why is Garendo playing in front of him? Garendo has given you what? What have you seen from Garendo where you want more of that instead of what Patrick Taylor might be able to give you? Where is Jacob Cowing? You got snaps for Ronnie Bell, but Jacob Cowing can't play from scrimmage? Why? If it's because he's not ready yet, well, you're a month into your season. How the is he not ready yet? Are your coaches coaching? What are you doing at practice? How is he not ready? The lack of conviction in his own depth chart bothers me about Kyle sometimes.
Well, I think his conviction is the guy that I trust that knows every wide receiver position is going to play. But we've watched Ronnie Bell. He has a problem dropping the football.
Yeah.
So if Jacob Cowing doesn't know every position, so be it. Let's put him in positions to succeed. They tried it with Danny Gray. They were willing to put Danny Gray out there for 4 snaps once upon a time just to throw him a deep ball. They're at a point now where they need some of these. The only way they can infuse any talent into this team is for their rookie class to get opportunities to play.
Right. I mean, there's not enough time to wait for perfect to pass up pretty good because perfect might not come. And it's amazing. It's almost like the Steve Kerr leash for anyone who's young on the team. The minute you do something that Steve doesn't like, you're going to be benched and you're maybe going to coach DNP for a week.
Here's the good news. Ricky Pearsall is going to return from a gunshot wound at some point soon. That's potentially helpful.
Kittle's coming back. Brandon Ayuk is going to look like Brandon Ayuk at some point this year, right? I mean,
I have no doubt about that.
Yeah. I think by Christmas, everyone will be like, there he is. We're okay now. I think that's going to happen. But it hasn't happened early, and I do think that Trent Williams is going to round himself in a better shape. He has been a weak link.
Part of it, 4 or 5 pressures against Minnesota.
Yeah. He's the kind of guy who doesn't give up 4 or 5 pressures in an entire year. If the entire NFL season was a drive from San Francisco to San Jose, we haven't even passed the airport yet. There's still a lot of journey in front of us. So calm down, everyone. But also, if they lose to the New England Patriots, we can hit the panic button with our foreheads. I will grant you that at the same time, too. Thanks for watching. Tune into the Damon Bruce Show live on YouTube every weekday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific.